In 1968, five of the Warsaw Pact's Soviet Union, Bulgaria, Hungary, East Germany, and Poland invaded Czechoslovakia. This is known as the invasion of Czechoslovakia. But first, here's some background information. The Warsaw Pact, also known as the Friendship Treaty, was a defense treaty between the Soviet Union and seven of its European satellites: Albania, Poland, Romania, Hungary, East Germany, Czechoslovakia, and Bulgaria, signed in May of 1955. These were known as member states. The Warsaw Pact was a defense organization that saw the Soviets in control of all the member states' armed forces. If one of the member states were to come under attack, all member states would jump to the defense for that member. It was under the direct command of Soviet leader Marshal Ivan S. Konev. During January to August of 1968, Czechoslovakia was endorsing in a period known as Prague Spring, where political libertarianism arose during a period in which the Soviet Union controlled Czechoslovakia. The Soviet Union did not, however, approve of the idea of libertarianism. Now, the affair, the invasion that is, concerned Alexander Dubček's libertarianism reforms during the Prague Spring. Alexander Dubček was elected to Communist Party. He desired libertarianism to loosen the restrictions of the people's civil rights, thinking that he would be able to maintain relations with the USSR. But of course the Soviets questioned the mix of communism with libertarianism. The USSR began to have concerns in being able to preserve communism, because if Czechoslovakian people were given more rights, their rights may eventually extend to the point of them being able to vote. If they were able to vote, they would likely vote out the Communist Party and another one in. The Soviets most definitely wanted control over Czechoslovakia and would do anything to withstand the power of the people being unable to vote. The US had feared the domino effect of the spread of communism, but now it was the USSR's turn for fearing domino effect of libertarianism. If one of the surrounding communist countries, Slovakia, Poland, Germany, and Austria, gained rights, people's demand for rights would spread more and more. The dictatorship leaders of these countries did not want people to be able to overthrow or vote them out of power. They were living the dream because they were propped up by the Soviets and kept the people's money, all for themselves. A nice big house, nice cars, nice girls, nice money, while in the meantime all the people around them starved. To preserve this luxurious power, these evil dictators would happily squash Czechoslovakia.
Invasion.
On the 20th of August to the 21st of August of 1968, five of the eight Warsaw Pact countries attacked Czechoslovakia. 250,000 Warsaw Pact troops deployed into the country, along with 2,000 tanks. The troops crossed over the border as the Soviet Airborne Division seized control of Ryazan International Airport early during the invasion. With control of the airport, Moscow sent AN-12 aircraft full of Soviet airborne with artillery weapons and tanks. The Soviets' forces traveled around to major centers with ease. Dubček did not prepare for an invasion whatsoever, because he was totally unaware that the Warsaw Pacts would invade at all. After the invasion ended, civilians approached the troops with resistance which did not harm. They argued with troops, but also offered water and food to them, which they denied. The people did not want to hurt the troops, but did want to annoy them. Signs and graffitis were drawn on the walls, which denounced Soviet troops and leaders. They gave soldiers wrong directions and removed street signs so they would get lost. There were a few outcomes to the invasion. The Moscow Protocol was a document signed by political leaders of Czechoslovakia and Moscow to ensure the protection of socialism in Czechoslovakia. Alexander Dubček resigned as first secretary from Communist Party of Czechoslovakia and was replaced by Gustav Husak. The Soviet military from then on was present in the country until 1991, and finally, Albania withdrew from the Warsaw Pact. In conclusion, the invasion of Czechoslovakia was not much a war like Vietnam, but more so like a house invasion, but on a much larger scale.